This is a 2015 Chevy Equinox. This car has been having issues with fuel injector O-rings or gaskets blowing. This car, they've been replaced on this car twice already. So now I'm going to disassemble this and see what's going on. I'm not a big fan of working on newer cars, but here we go. So like always, I like to have all my tools set out and organized. This is what I'm going to use. Hopefully this is all of it. I'm going to start out with a 10 millimeter. Start taking things apart. First thing I'm going to do is disconnect the cables from the battery. I have my magnetic plate there for all the bolts so I don't lose anything. After this, I'll take this air intake off. There's a clamp on the top, and then there's also one on the bottom. They're both easy to get to. Up next, I have to remove the fuel pump housing. There's, I can't remember, 3 or 4 bolts holding it. This is a 10 millimeter. The fuel pump is a high pressure fuel pump. It's right on top. It has a black metal housing on it, and it has a foam insulation over it. The pump's loud, so they put that over to suppress the sound. So here it is. That's the metal housing, and then that foam insert. You can see the fuel pump now, right here. Next, you have to take off the intake manifold. I can't remember how many bolts there are, but actually that's the exhaust manifold. The bolts aren't hidden here, so you'll be able to see them. They're easy to get to also. All the bolts came off pretty easily. The 2 bolts, there's one on the left side and one on the right side. Those 2 were a little harder to get the socket on. It's a little tight where those are. I had to put the socket on and use a hammer to hammer it on. I forgot to mention there's a couple electrical connections on the top of the motor. You see them pretty easily. They disconnect easy. You'll need to disconnect them to move the manifold over. There was also a vacuum line that was connected to the air intake box. You can see right here, this is where I had to hammer the socket on. It's just a little tight, but it went on. So that was the last bolt now, and now you can just pull the manifold off. You can see the electrical connection there that's I disconnected it, so I can easily move this over. And now the fuel rail is exposed. You can see it's a shiny stainless steel. Has some bolts on there, and they're pretty easy to get to also. So the fuel rail, the fuel line's connected to the fuel rail. You just need an open end wrench to take it off. So you use a 11/16 inch wrench. You just use the wrench to loosen it. You can unscrew it with your hand afterwards. It's located on the right side of the fuel rail. Next up, we got to take the bolts off the fuel rail to get the fuel rail off. The manifold can stay in. You just got to pull it back just so you can get the socket in there. Now you can take the rest of them off. To take it off, just pull on it evenly from both sides and it should pop right out. It's a little tight in here because the injectors are long, but if you mess with it, it'll come out. The fuel rail does have a wiring harness connected to it. It's on the left side. Same thing like the other ones, just disconnect it. Okay, here it is. I'll get it to the workbench and see what's going on here. First thing I noticed, there's a plastic tie holding one of the electrical connectors, which is not good. So I'm going to start taking the injectors off. There's a clip on here that you have to pop off, and then the injectors will come out. They make a tool for this, which I don't have, so just use a screwdriver and a hammer to tap it off. Do it lightly so you don't break the injector. The clip has a little lip on it, so that's what I'm hitting on. And you can see it pop off now. Each injector has its own electrical connection, which you just disconnect, and the injector comes right out. The first and second injector looked alright. The problem was the third injector, as you can see here. So this is the second time this has happened on this car, so there's some type of issue here. I was going to try to reuse the fuel rail, but I'm just going to order a whole new one with the injectors installed already. And here it is from Amazon. This was $247 with the injectors installed. It also had the fuel injector sensor installed on it, so I don't know if the issue was the fuel rail or the sensor, but now I have both brand new, and the injectors also. If I would have just bought the fuel rail, it would have been $133 and then $55 for the injectors. So I thought this was the better route. This also came with the bolts. Because I didn't take the manifold off, it's a little tight, but you're still able to squeeze this in pretty easily. When you put the rail in, you have to make sure it goes in evenly. This also includes when you're bolting it in. These rails can be easily bent, and that's usually what causes the leak. Right here, I'm bolting these in. Go from one to the other to make sure that the rail goes in even. Right here I'm using the ratchet just to tighten the wrist. I don't want to over tighten them because these also, I'll need the torque wrench. I can't remember what the torque specifications were, but you can look it up and they'll show it online. The next thing is just to tighten the fuel line to the rail. So now that once that's done, then just start putting everything back together in reverse order. You can also get the torque specifications online for that also. I keep all the bolts I took off in order, so that way when I'm putting everything back together it goes a lot quicker, no guessing on where the bolts have to go. Also, when I was originally pulling this rail off, I did find a vacuum leak, so I did replace that also. This car has been having this issue for a long time with, I guess the two injector O-rings were changed on here and it just kept leaking. So then the car sat for over a year. Then my son was able to get it, so I'm hoping the new fuel rail will solve this issue. I'm actually saying I'm hoping it would solve the issue, but it did, because this video is already 2 months old. He's been driving it for about 2 months now with no issues. So this actually worked out pretty well. So he really got a good deal on this car, especially for his first car. It's a really nice car. Right here I'm putting the foam pad back over the fuel pump with the cover, and that should be the last of it right here, besides connecting the battery. Don't forget to connect all the fuel lines, the electrical connections. Try not to miss anything. There wasn't too many. This just pops on right here. We've already changed the oil and all the filters for the car. Just whatever maintenance it's needed. Okay, time to start it. I had to run it through the fuel pump a couple times to get the fuel pump. You can hear now that it wants to start. There you go, a good start. This didn't take too long to do, and it wasn't that difficult. Like I said, the car's been running pretty good for the last 2 months, so hopefully it continues to run well. Don't forget to like and subscribe.